You're dressed as the doctor, yeah? Yeah, thank you for dressing up. I love it. Great. Captain Jack, go ahead. Take... I like the video on that one. Anyway. You should come to my house. It's a lot of fun. We have a good time. Scott might beg to differ, but we do have a good time. Yes.
Hello, Mr. Barrowman. My name is Nick.
Vic, you can call me John.
I was wondering how you switch between your native Scottish accent and your English accent so well.
I have a little switch on the back of my neck. And I just flick it up, and that usually turns it into a Scottish accent. And it also depends who I'm talking with, whether I'm talking to my sister Carol, my mum and my dad, or my brother Andrew, or we're talking to other family members. But then when I switch it back, and I want to talk to Scott, it's back in the American accent. Because Scott finds it a bit weird when I start talking like this to him. I'd say, go on yourself, son, go over and get in bed, all right? I'm just gonna have a lie down. And then I go, translate that, Scott, get over here, get to bed, we're gonna go to sleep, I just want to go to bed, okay? So it's that switch. That was pretty good, wasn't it? Whew, I had too much coffee. The coffee's kicked in. Woo! Yeah, nice. And the Bloody Mary. Yes!
Hi, John. I was wondering, what kind of prep as an actor did you have to go through to play Malcolm Maryland on Arrow?
Say it again?
What kind of prep did you have to go through to play Malcolm Maryland on Arrow as an actor?
I have to be, again, honest. I'm not one of those actors who delves into the depths of the bowels of the character. I kind of just live it as the character's written and on the page. I'm able to take that like a sponge. The things I probably really had to prepare for, that I wanted to understand things about him. Ironically, I have a DC comic encyclopedia next to my bed. Not that I'm a nerd or anything, right? So I did a little research, and that I knew a bit about him. That Malcolm Merlin, the Dark Archer, or the Shadow Archer, whatever he was called in the encyclopedia, was different throughout different, eras and bits of the DC world. So there was room for kind of interpretation. But I also, the one thing was learning how to hold a quiver. I mean, come on, and literally it was that first sequence. I don't know if you guys, if you remember, the first bit where I kick through the wall and then I start booting the crap out of Steven's character. I actually kicked him on that. Actually, I take that back. I broke a stuntman's nose once in Torchwood. In Miracle Day when we were at the airport, and I came up and I kicked him in the head, and he went, "Ah, my nose!" I went, "Sorry, keep rolling. Looks good, blood, fabulous." And Steven, stunt guys, that's what they're paid for, but Steven's not a stunt guy, and I kicked him right in the knee. I was mortified. I mean, even to this day, I'm like, "How's your knee? Okay?" He's like, "I'm fine." But going through that wall, that was my first day of shooting, literally, and I had to bust through that wall. It was the first day wearing that outfit, which I'll tell you right now, is claustrophobic. You can't breathe, and it made me panic a little bit, and so it was, doing all the firing, boom, with the quiver, just a lot of stress. But, so that has been the thing, trying to prepare and not be stressed out by those kind of things, because it happens and you do it so quickly. Good? Lovely.
Hi, John.
Hello.
My name's Andrea.
Hi, Andrea.
Thanks. I wanted to congratulate you on your marriage.
Thank you. Thank you.
I wanted to ask about that experience of getting married. Was your family here?
No. Scott and I have always been advocates. Well, take that back. We haven't been advocates of it to begin with, because we didn't want to be recognized with certain organizations that like that word, that believe that we are wrong, evil, bad, and should burn in hell. So, but what we changed, the reason we kind of moved forward and changed our minds about it is because, you know, whether or not you want to get married is one thing, but I don't want to be told that I can't. Right? I want to make that choice and decision for myself because, you know, and so when it passed, when DOMA was denounced, we were ecstatic. We woke up in bed, we tweeted about it right away. We thought Britain would actually be first, and then, you know, the states would follow, California and you know, other states along the way. But we didn't. We said right there and then, we've got to do this now, because the big difference it makes for me, to be totally honest with you, is that Scott can travel with me in this country. I'm an American citizen. He can travel with me and, you know, come in the same line that I do. We can come in as a couple, as a man and woman can do. He can also now, I don't have to send him back every 3 months to have a stamp put in his passport so he can get back in the country, whereas they might not let him in sometimes because they think he's been back and forth too many times. So it's a huge deal for us as a couple. And also it's a huge deal for younger people coming up to see that, you know, you can't do it now. Anyway, we had an argument in the morning. We woke up and he said, "So are you going to propose to me?" I said, "Why do I always have to be the one to propose? Why don't you propose?" He said, "Because you proposed last time." I said, No. He said, "I proposed last time." I said, "No, you did not propose last time." When it was our civil partnership, I got done with it. "No, you didn't." "No, fine, let's just go get married." That was it. Before we go on, we're kind of halfway through already, but I want to introduce someone who's very dear to me. Yeah, hold on a minute. It might not be who you think. She's also my partner in crime for the books that we write together. The Torchwood novel, which we've almost run out of it here. I've carried them all the way from England, the hardbacks. They're not available here in the U.S. But please welcome my writing duo, my partner in crime with the books, my sister Carol. So any questions can still be about whatever you want. You can ask Carol some questions. You can ask her questions about me.
Did you notice how slimming this looks?
Oh, stand that way, ready? And we have after, before, after, before. You know, menopause looks good on you.
Fuck off. I apologize right there for saying that. In our house, I was always the one with the more potty mouth, and so my husband told our kids that rock stars and writers can say the F word, and that was it.
And she's not a rock star. Yes, question.
Hello, Barrowman.
No, I'm good.
I'm really glad that Carol just came up because I was going to ask if you could...
See, I am psychic. I traveled in the TARDIS, knew what you were going to ask, came back, and here I am. Awesome.
If you could be creative producers on the next film Torchwood thing, series or movie, do you have any ideas what you would want to do with it?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
We've written a book.
Yes.
It's already there.
It's called Exodus Code, and we decided that would make a perfect next movie or season.
Movie or season.
Season. Yes.
Either or.
And
don't look at me for approval. I just want to be back on that screen.
And I decided that I was going to play the dark Captain Jack.
Ooh. That is like a cosplay I don't even want to get involved in.
Me neither. It's gross.
No, that's fan fiction.
Oh, I've got a story for you. Oh, yeah. You want to hear it?
Go.
All right. John and I, we work on our books together. I usually hang out with him and Scott for a few months at a time. We were 4 sometimes.
Yeah. Depending on how sunny it is and how much wine I have in the cellar.
Lots of wine. We had been having some fun planning the book, and we were laying out some notes.
Drinking.
There was some drinking involved. We even had a contest with what was the Skittles, to see if you could tell the flavors of Skittles by, like, the colored ones. Did they taste any different?
I told you gotta hang out at my house.
Anyway, so after we got done with that, we go into our obviously my room is right next door to the master suite, right? So I'm trying to go to sleep, and all of a sudden I can hear, and it's like, oh dear God, I think I'm gonna die. And it's going on, and then there's like this banging and banging, and then all of a sudden it's like, it's right here, it's right here, it's right here. So I'm getting my earphones out, I'm as tolerant as the next sister would be. I got the earphones out, the earplugs out and something, I'm doing all of this. And the next morning we come out at breakfast and he says to me, I had the worst heartburn last night. It was so bad. And he said, I thought I was gonna die. And I said, oh, thank God you were only dying. I thought you and Scott were having rough sex and I had to listen to it.
No, I ate chicken wings and they don't bode well with me. Oh.
But then afterwards he looks at me and says, wait a minute. You didn't want to hear me having sex, so you were okay that I was dying.
Next question.
Hi.
Hi.
I really love Torchwood, and I am wanting you to imagine another movie or another season for the series. It's been in Wales, it's been in the United States. Is there another place you'd like to take Torchwood?
Acapulco. Peru. No, Peru is where the next is
Exodus
Code is set. So it's South America, and again, if you're a Captain Jack fan, you'd really, and I'm not saying this just to get the book out there and get it, but the more people who read it, the more I think the story will progress and go forward, because it is a true Captain Jack story, and the settings of the places we have in Peru are just unbelievable.
And it's got a kick-ass opening chapter that will it sums up everything about
We have
Jack.
to take one word out, because when you're writing the book, you have to reintroduce the characters to an audience that may not be familiar with the TV show. Those people who just read, right? That's rather a good nice book. Can I read that, please? Exodus Code looks lovely. Thank you. So, so there's one...
Is that switch in your bum that makes you
Yeah, that's the other
English there?
switch. Yes.
Yes, no, we're going to be
Even the
British.
producers, Downton Abbey. Flabby up the Abbey, darling. Anyway, so there's this bit where Captain Jack, the airplane spins over. I'll just give it briefly. He falls out of the aircraft, right? After something's happened to him. And as he's falling, and the publisher made us take this out, he looks down, he looks up, and he goes, fuck, this is gonna hurt. Now, those of you who know, that's great, because it laughed, you know exactly what's going through his head. But everybody who's reading it the first time is like, why does he know it's gonna hurt? What's gonna happen to him?
Have they just killed the main character off in the first chapter?
That's what they think, but no, because he comes back to life!